Imagine moving objects without touching them, nudging a bead, steering a droplet, even assembling tiny parts using nothing but sound. That's acoustic levitation, and it looks like sci-fi until you see the physics. I'll start with the trick. Sound is pressure, a rhythmic squeeze of air. When I drive a speaker at just the right frequency, the resonant frequency of a chamber or a pair of transducers, those ripples line up and form standing waves. In a standing wave, space breaks into a pattern, nodes, where pressure barely changes, antinodes, where it swings hardest. Now here's the weird part. Tiny objects in that field feel a steady push called the acoustic radiation force. Between the oscillations, pressure gradients average out to create invisible pockets, stable traps, right near the nodes. Drop a lightweight particle there and it hangs, weight balanced by pressure, almost like resting on a cushion made of sound. No friction, no contact. To make this practical, I shape the sound. With two arrays facing each other, hundreds of ultrasonic transducers pulsing above 20 kilohertz, I can sculpt standing waves in 3D. By shifting phase, the timing of each tiny speaker, I move the nodal points through space. The particle rides the pocket, gliding as I repaint the wavefront in real time. Want to rotate it? I introduce vortex modes, twisting the pressure field to spin the object like a contactless torque wrench. Why does it work so precisely? Because the wavelength and the object size set the rules. If the object is small compared to the wavelength, the forces are smooth and stable. Higher frequency means shorter wavelengths and finer control at the cost of power. Every move is a negotiation between gravity, drag, and acoustic pressure, tuned by amplitude and frequency. So what can I actually do with it? In clean manufacturing, I can handle powders, microchips, fragile optics with zero contamination. In pharma, I can mix and transport droplets without touching a surface. Perfect for sterile samples, reactive samples, biological samples. In medicine, I can position cells, guide microbeads, concentrate drug carriers, aiming at targeted therapies. In advanced manufacturing, think contactless 3D printing, assembling components that would otherwise stick, smear, or break. Even in space, where gravity is low but contamination is a headache, sound fields could choreograph materials into structures. This isn't magic, it's pressure doing careful work. As arrays get smaller, smarter, and cheaper, I'll move from levitating beads to manipulating complex, living, and delicate matter, reliably at scale. The future looks quiet, precise, and touchless, and it's powered by the oldest wave we know, sound. Acoustic levitation won't replace every tool, but wherever touch is too risky, messy, or imprecise, I can let physics hold the object for me, suspended in a pocket of air, waiting for its next move.